So we're here at Fully Charged in Austin, Texas, and if there's one company which people believe that can be serious competition or an enhancement of Tesla, it is Rivian, and I'm talking here with Zach about the company and what they're doing. Zach, there's about how many people are working at the company at the moment?
We're at about 1,700 employees, and we're scattered all over the United States currently, and have a small office in the London area as well, and in Vancouver as we develop.
Started in 2009, right? They've been along for a ride, and they've been known because Ford invested in them, and Amazon ordered 100,000 trucks and that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing is you've been under the radar forever. I mean, 2009 you started, and when is the first product, the pickup truck, going to be produced?
Production starts the end of this year. The SUV will start a few months after that, and we have a lot of pre-order deliveries to fulfill. They're our first priority, so we'll be taking care of those on into the first months of 2021.
Yeah. So how did this company develop that you have been doing 10 years? That those are almost, you know, normal times in the car industry to go from a whole new series and to take 10 years. But for a startup, that's not normal.
Well, for our company, it was started by our CEO, R.J. Scaringe, in
MIT.
In 2009. And he started it 26 years old, straight out of MIT. And, you know, it takes a lot to develop a car. He's from Florida, so that's where the name comes from. Indian River in Florida, Rivian, reverse it a little bit. You try to start a car company in Florida, you have to have some presences elsewhere to draw on the talent base for the automotive side. So we started our office in the Detroit area and are still based in Plymouth, Michigan. We also have our production base in Normal, Illinois, about 2 hours outside Chicago, and have some talent pulled in from the San Francisco area and the Los Angeles area as well. So it takes a whole lot to launch a company. And
I know. I mean, it's almost as old as Tesla. I mean, they were about the same time, and you also have 2.4 billion investment capital, something like that?
A little higher than that at this point.
Sorry, I'm behind. It's a couple of hundred more. And so how has that 10 years been spent? What are the big steps? I mean, you're from the place where they bought the Mitsubishi factory, right? Yep. And when was that?
That was about 3 years ago. Coming in January, actually marked 3 years. And there's a lot of retooling of the factory that has to happen. There's a lot of product designs that get altered, and we come out to these to hear from our customers and to really learn what they want to see in these vehicles. So with all of the configurations that go into it, it takes a lot in inventing new technology for vehicles this size. And
we love the way you have the videos and the talking and the showing of little parts, and now people can actually sit. And 2 years ago it was the unveiling, you couldn't touch it. Now you can basically sit in it. But when can we really see it driving? Because I've never waited for a product so long in my life. I mean, for communication, that must be a pain in the butt. Not to put all these journalists and YouTubers in the car and say, hey, it really drives great. When is that going to happen?
That's coming this summer. A lot of that will happen over the summer, and by the end of summer is when our pre-order customers will learn more about the configurations, what they'll be able to choose, what will go into the vehicles, and then we'll start the test driving tour. We'll have options where we will come to them, they can come to us, and we want to make it as great of a process as possible for them.
Yeah, you're in that phase. Now, you've been working for 10 years on this pickup truck, and you've done everything and works very hard. And then Tesla comes out with a Cybertruck, and the whole world is talking about it. How is that for you? What does that? How does the Tesla entering the phase and maybe delivering at the same time works for Rivian?
Hey, we're big Tesla fans, and we don't view it as Rivian versus Tesla at all. It's really about driving the market toward the electrification of their vehicles. More choices out there, more options for them, means more focus on EVs, and that's really what our goal is through this whole process. And it's a company based on being able to offer those models and more in the sustainability aspects of the company, which we'll talk more about as that.
Because you are so low on details, right? I mean, it is just unbelievable. Except for that Ford invested and Amazon, so there must be something to show. And but for example, what can you say publicly about the batteries?
The batteries, there will be 3 different range options for this.
No, but where do you source them from? Are you making them yourself? Who's your partners you work with, etc.?
We'll have the battery assembly at our plant in Normal. We'll release more details about suppliers and the like before that configuration comes out at the end of the summer. Yeah. So we know it's been a long process.
We cannot talk about it. This is the company which keeps you on your seat for a lot of years. A lot of years. So, and we want to know more and we want to see it. Okay, so for batteries, no more information about it. The price, I heard that the 69,000 euro price is going a dollar, whatever. Did you announce that it's going to be lower probably?
So these models that we have on display, we consider well-equipped versions of the vehicle. That means that they are a higher-tiered version, so we'll be able to go up from there, we'll be able to go down. What we can say at this point is it won't be a 6-digit figure on the highest models. Now, more of that will be released in the next.
And on the low end side, I mean, will you match a Cybertruck starting at 40 or 50? Will that go down, or is there nothing public about that?
Nothing public yet. It's coming in the next several weeks, but we're finalizing a lot of those details, and it's important. The reason we don't share a lot of information that is subject to change is we don't want to overpromise anything for people. We're very focused on the quality of these vehicles. We are developing a vehicle that we are very happy about, and we know that our customers.
I know. We've seen the video. Then, what kind of company will Rivian be? Because I mean, you're making something for Amazon. You have a big investment from Ford, suggesting that you would make platforms and other people would work on that. What is the general vision of that?
Well, the whole model for these vehicles is that adventure model. We want people to go where they want to be. So that's going to play into the build out of our charging network as well. We do have the 100,000 vehicle contract with Amazon. We'll be building those delivery vehicles on the Amazon Prime stage. So a lot more to come in vehicle design and options as we develop this, but we're hyper-focused on getting these two models on the road here by mid-2021 for both of these folks.
Okay, so midsummer we will have the first test drives. At the end of the year, production will start, so delivery will start somewhere in 2022, and you will make all these companies for Amazon yourself. You're going to do, and you have a charging network.
We're building it out. That takes time as well, and especially when you're branding your company as Adventure, you've got to get to places where there's a lot of chargers non-existent at this moment in time. But we're having a lot of conversations across those platforms, and it's kind of on the front end for that development. And if you think back to when automobiles kind of came on the scene, it took 10, 15 years to really see filling stations where you needed them.
Your charging stations will be on wild places, right? In parks and on top of mountains or something like that.
It's going to be a combination of all that.
You're not going to be on the default, on the standard places. Okay, so far, this is what we've been trying to hear, and we'll see. We'll drive the car this coming summer. Must be quite a job for communication. How's the factory doing? In the store, how big is the store? The town where the factory is, and how happy are people that factory has been bought?
They're ecstatic, and I would say the awareness is highest there. It's a community of about 175,000 people. Everybody is thrilled from the job side of things to see that factory still in use.
Are there already people hired there? I mean, how many people work in the factory?
We are closing in at about 250 people at the factory. That number is going to jump significantly by the end of the year and into next year as well. And with future plans, as we continue to outfit our plant for the Rivian Prime van is kind of how we're branding it right now with Amazon. It's going to lead to more, and the excitement is extremely high, and we're just looking forward to getting those on the road so we can share all the details.
Zach, thank you very much for being as open and honest as you possibly could.
Thanks, Vincent.